the voters. They're looking at him to try and come to the middle and set aside this extreme agenda.
So you're saying, to flip it around, if there were to be a default on the debt or government shutdown, it's his responsibility, not yours.
I would say, Chris, it's as much as his responsibility. In fact, he is the one who sets the agenda as the chief executive and as the president of this country.
What a coward. The president can't spend a dime. I mean, for Republicans, a government shutdown is just a political car bomb, in my opinion. I mean, they want to create dysfunction in Washington, as if there isn't any right now, and blame it on the president. Eric Cantor doesn't give a damn about you or the middle class. A government shutdown would mean seniors would not get their Social Security checks. How's that sit with you? That Medicare payments, well, they'd be stopped. Hundreds of thousands of civil employees and their families would be just left hanging until somebody in Congress decides, well, maybe we shouldn't do this. Folks, this is the new Republican majority at work. For more, let's bring in New York Congressman Anthony Weiner. Congressman, is this government by fear? What is this? I mean, this is ludicrous to threaten American families with financial strife because they want to get their political way. What's your call?
Well, I don't know why you'd expect anything else. Let's remember the campaign they just ran. It's basically being against everything. They're a deconstructionist message to the extreme. So it should come as no surprise that they're against raising the debt limit. Now, you left out one important thing when you were talking about the apocalyptic outcome of someone not raising the debt limit or not letting government function. You know, the full faith and credit of the United States currency is based upon the idea that we're good for our debts, and of course that we are. But if you start screwing around with that, they said they're not going to raise the debt limit, which is going to be kind of required for the government to keep functioning. They said they won't do that either. But this is no mystery. You know, when you campaign for months and months on the things that you're against and never lay out an affirmative agenda for what you're in favor of course you're probably not in favor of government continuing to run or our currency being supported by the full faith and credit of the United States. That should come as no surprise.
What should the president's response to this rhetoric be? What should it be? What should he be saying now?
You know, I just think that it's time for him to start punching back. You know, he should hit these guys with so many lefts, they're begging for a right after a while. I mean, I just think you got to start saying, look, they're bringing a challenge here, and their vision of government is to privatize Social Security, make Medicare into a voucher system, not raise the debt limit, and shut down the government. The president's agenda is different. Now, you got to dust yourself off at a certain point and start pushing back for the things that we believe in. You know, I watched that 60 Minutes interview like you did. It was, you know, too much of it was us saying, you know, the president saying, oh, yeah, oops, I'm sorry about that. I'll try to do it your way a little bit more. I don't think that's the tone that we should have right now.
Well, you know, Congressman, you watch the videotape of President Obama on the campaign trail, and then you watch that interview on 60 Minutes. I know it's two different arenas, but it's almost like two different people. I mean, the last night, the president did not tell the American people, here's where we are, and here's where we have to go. And this is what I want for America. And if he can't have resolve in every opportunity that he has to communicate with the American people, especially on a platform like that, how are we as liberals supposed to say, hey, we're in great shape for 2012? Right,
and also let's remember something else. First of all the votes cast in the country on Tuesday, November 2nd, it was about 55-45. The Democrats got beat. We got beat handily. If even half of the president's supporters from 2008 showed up, half the amount of that gap showed up, we'd be back to 50-50. Half the country doesn't believe what Eric Cantor wants to do. That's the bottom line. And we have to stand up for that half of the country at very least. And the point is this. You know, the president has to realize that the Republicans that are coming to town are basically the same that he's been dealing with for the last 2 years. Yeah. They're going to vote no on stuff as long as they get away with it, even if it means shutting down the government.
Congressman, weigh in on the leadership battle that's starting to wage for the Democrats in the House. Will it be Nancy Pelosi? Will it be Steny Hoyer as the whip, or Jim Clyburn? What do you think?
Look, I think Nancy deserves to be able to make this decision. She's decided she's going to be our leader. Let's remember something. Before she was the speaker, she was a heck of a minority leader that led us into the promised land. She's one of the most impressive people I've ever met in public life. As for the Hoyer-Clyburn race, my watch is running a little late. I think it's time to go soon.
Too tough to call. It's a hot political potato, no question about it. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight. Thanks so much.
Thanks, brother.
Coming up, Russell P.